That's a good time to remember this. So what happened in your group, Brad? Well, let's talk about the next actions and just what happened.
We had a great discussion about the different business models that we've been playing with. We had some great discussions about whether it would be useful to look at a private model or not, and we talked about the public use versus private use. Really a lot of enthusiasm about the revitalization and creating this as a destination place in the city, that could revitalize the whole North Corridor. So for next steps, we didn't really have any firm next steps because I know we're in the process still of getting this back open. I think would be the big challenge, right? Back to the drawing board, so to speak, for the city. And we did talk about the Woodbury proposal on the housing, and that's really not what we want. We understand it. We understand the financial and business parts of that, but that just doesn't seem right for the buildings for the group.
I actually did something really nice for you, Sophia, which is I found someone to share your lovely husband's work with.
Awesome!
So Jim may not be doing sleepless nights by himself anymore. Todd is a web design and graphic design friend. We have our photographer friend behind him as well. And then there's your Linda and Earl back here have been doing community activism for a lot longer than many of us have been around. So they've been doing some amazing work in this neighborhood. So they pretty much know everything about everyone. So we're definitely going to put them a little bit to work once we get moving forward. The next action for us is primarily going to be a civil version of rabble rousing. We want to make sure that this city knows very loudly and clearly that a 7-story apartment complex is not what the neighborhood wants, and we'll make sure Woodbury knows we will make it as difficult for them as possible. So that's our.
Hey, the ruckus raisers. Thank you. I love who shows up and gives some skills they bring. Okay, Michael, what happened?
Activism. So, as all of my research into this neighborhood has taught me, there are so many stories about this place. That came up again in our group. Lots and lots of stories. People's parents taken into the Springs. People, their first date was at the Springs. All kinds of things. So, utilizing those stories is going to be really important for us. So we talked about kind of 3 or 4 main points to act on. The first is the petition. Lots of energy behind getting out and hitting the pavement, getting that petition out. That's going to be one of our biggest tools in this process. Getting out to community council meetings, particularly for Rose Park and for the Marmalade and Capitol Hill areas that are going to be most affected by this, and contacting those groups if you happen to be in those areas, and also getting out to the city council meetings. And if you don't happen to be in District 3, contact your councilman or councilwoman and let them know your story. Let them know, if you're dissatisfied with the proposal for the housing project, let them know that. If you're really backing us on the alternative that we're presenting, let them know that too, please. And then that brings up a good point in terms of there's a lot of dissatisfaction with the proposal that Woodbury has out there. But that's not, if that's the main point you want to make to your representatives and to other people you want to contact about this, please do that. But in terms of the petition work and other things that we're trying to do, we really want to promote the alternative that we're offering here, and this community space and this gathering space for the entire city, not just for people who might end up living on that site if the Woodbury proposal goes through. So there's a negative and a positive to this, and we really want to focus at least our public efforts on the positive side.
Catherine Sharp, Community Outreach. We had a really good conversation about a lot of different communities that we can get involved. A lot of push for a lot of tribal involvement is really key, and schools for sure. There was a lot of question about that's in the way of getting too many people involved before we are 100% a go. So we'll have to have a conversation about that and different tools to reach out to these people, which you and I had already talked about. And yeah, basically, if you know of a specific community, whatever it may be, your scouts or your book club, whatever, you know, just spread the word really is the key. The more people know, the more people can get involved and have a voice and make change.
Our group discussed uses of the building and of the springs. There were a lot of questions about feasibility, quality of the water, condition of the building, and the quality of the water, I think, has been addressed, but the condition of the building has not. It will require a pretty extensive and expensive engineering study to fully determine what the work will be needed to bring the building up to seismic code, and of course that will also depend to some extent on the use that's made of it. And these are all things to be determined and obviously extremely important. We also clarified a little bit, what is this, what is public, and what is private, or what will be public and what will be private. The role of the Historic Landmark Commission, which has to approve any work that's done on that building. And some of the suggested uses for not only the building but the site as well. We talked about sweat lodges, talked about outdoor movies, outdoor as well as indoor pools, what Peter called a third space. You have home, you have work, and you have a third space. And this, I think, is a very good way of expressing it. I think we've all always thought about that. Let's see. To celebrate the ideas of water and warmth seems a natural thing for that third space to do. Enjoying movies in the pool. Absolutely. And other things as well, I imagine. A lot of concern for the participation of the First Nations. As we said before, people are curious to see the floor plans, to see what the building looks like and what the spaces are inside. I do have that. I apologize for not bringing it this evening, but we can post it on the Facebook page or on the Trello site. Emphasis placed on making sure that all ages are welcome, from tots to seniors. Emphasis on art as a place for traveling exhibitions, for performance art, and an art carousel, which somebody will have to explain because I didn't quite get it.
Okay.
And everybody wants a tour.
Everybody wants
A tour.
Everybody wants a
I should
tour.
clarify one thing about the tour. I can't actually take you in the building. I can give you the lowdown on it. I've spent time in there. It took a lot of pleading on my part to get the city to let me do that. If I told them I was going to take 30 or 40 people in there, they would laugh me off the phone. So that part will not happen. But other aspects of the Beck Street area, Sweet Town, and of course the Warm Springs building and the fault zone along there, that will all be covered.
Sweet. And we do have quite a few photos of the inside. So we'll create a tour, virtual tour online. How's that? So you can see some of these cool inside spaces. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There were some questions about the petition. I can get digital copies of that.
Ideas people have, and just get a sense for how much the community is willing to engage to try to change the course of this decision. So I know that right now that there's a lot of focus in the city on housing. But I think that there are also a lot of areas in the city where we can focus on housing, and there's not any other Warm Springs in the city that I'm aware of. So I want to make sure that that people are committed to being engaged long-term over this and showing up to city council meetings, showing up to community council meetings, because that really is what it's going to take, and we don't want to get fatigued But yeah, it's going to be a long process to try to do this, but I'm here to be supportive, I'm here to listen, and I'm here to take any other questions or comments or concerns. Fund money for that, but yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you know, fix that whole
That
land.
was
But yeah,
serious.
yeah, that's a good, I like that, okay? Any other questions, anything else that I can answer for anybody? Good news is I hear your message and yeah, I'm with you, I support you, and I wanna make this happen. So let me know how I can help all of you as well.
We can help in so many ways, Chris. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To have somebody in the city that is supportive is huge.